Epic Universe has so much to offer, it can be hard to get everything done. Hello everybody, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the optimal path for you to take upon arrival at the park for your first time, and lots of my recommendations to help you get the most out of your day at Epic Universe. Epic Universe has so many things to do. It has 11 attractions, 2 shows, 28 different food experiences and restaurants, and even 6 dedicated meet and greets, and over a dozen store merchandise locations for you to visit. And for most of you watching this video, this is probably going to be your first time heading to the park. So knowing what to do and where to go and how to get the most bang for your buck can be super hard to know. It's hard to just look at, maps and things online and try to guess it. So this video is definitely going to be helping you out. Today I want to cover the optimal path for you as you get to the park and where to go and what order to do things in to try to get you to experience everything this park has to offer in a single day. Because I know most of you probably have a single day ticket or are only going to be able to go for one day over the period of your vacation. And so you want to try to get the most bang for your buck, but I'm also going to build in some downtime, some relaxation. I don't want you running from place to place to place and not feeling like you're enjoying the experience because you're just trying to run from attraction to attraction. And with the park hours being open from about 9 to 9 or 9 to 10, you'll have plenty of time to do everything if you do an open to close day. So the path I want to outline, this is for people who have early entry or don't have early entry. Essentially, it's going to be the same strategy, the same recommendation. And you're saying, I don't understand because early entry gives me an hour early. So shouldn't I do something different and more than somebody who doesn't? You'll see when we get into this why that's not the case and why early entry really doesn't matter as much. Now, this recommendation comes from me who has been in the park many times, done my homework. I've experienced all sorts of craziness pre-opening day during previews, opening day, after opening day, been there multiple times. They've changed so many things with regards to operations, what's available for early admission, early park entry, what things open at what times. They've changed a lot of stuff. And so this video is going to be very helpful for you because I'm going to try and nail it all down for you with all the changes to where it is currently today. First and foremost, eat breakfast before you go. I can't say that enough. That's the biggest thing you need to do. Don't go and think we're going to eat breakfast immediately upon getting to the park. You're going to burn too much time. So don't eat food while you're there. Now, if you want to bring a Pop-Tart or some sort of granola bar, stick it in your fanny pack or your sling bag or your purse or whatever and eat it once you get in the park, or maybe when you're in line for the first attraction, 100% go for it. Great. But don't spend time stopping to get breakfast in the morning. You're going to burn the most critical hour of your day, I promise you. So let's start. Early entry starts an hour before park opening. Currently it's at 9 a.m. By the time you go, it may be 10 a.m., maybe 8 a.m. Just plan accordingly. Shift the hours in this plan to sort of match up with whatever your early entry is. But we're going to say early entry 9 to 10 o'clock a.m. Again, this changes. It has changed in the past. What's available for early entry has changed, and it might change again by the time you see this video. But right now, the early entry attractions are Super Nintendo World, but not all of it, only a portion of it. The only 2 rides that are available for early entry are the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge and Yoshi's Adventure. Minecart Madness, not available for early entry. Celestial Park has Stardust Racers and Constellation Carousel. Both are open early entry. And then Dark Universe, this is Monsters Unchained and Curse of the Werewolf. So the entire Dark Universe portal is open. In the past, they've opened up How to Train Your Dragon early, or Dark Universe has been closed and they've had to open up a How to Train Your Dragon portal because it wasn't running, it wasn't ready to be started. So they keep changing things, so be aware, but hopefully it stays somewhat consistent for now. So this first attraction during early entry is your biggest choice of the day. This is the most critical and most important thing that you need to know, and you need to make a choice here. Do you hit the early admission attractions or not? That's your biggest choice. It seems like a super stupid question, right? Why wouldn't I hit the early attractions? That sounds like the dumbest question you've ever asked in your entire life. No way, what are you doing? Because as a Disney fan, the answer is pretty simple. If you go to Disney and you're used to early entry, or even Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios, you pretty much know what you're doing. Islands of Adventure, you're going to Hagrid's most likely. Disney, depending on the park, you're going to whatever is the early entry attractions. Everything else, you're just ignoring. It's kind of normal. That's what you do. But it's not the same at Epic Universe. Normally, early entry means you, as an early entry guest, someone who is staying at one of the Universal hotels, and just a reminder, anybody who stays at any Universal hotel, doesn't have to be Epic, it can be any Universal hotel, gets early entry. So just stay at one of their hotels, you get early entry, good to go. Normally, an early entry hotel guest is the only one allowed through a particular area to go to an attraction, to get in line and get on the attraction. That's normal. That's what you would think would work. Normally, non-early entry guests cannot get through. They cannot go get in line for attractions. They are basically stuck. This is not the case for Epic Universe. I hope it changes at some point because I think it is dumb. I think it is not a good policy. I think they need to fix it. But for now, and it doesn't seem like they have any signs of changing it, you're allowed to go in and do whatever. Now, you may or may not get stopped at an attraction that is early entry, but you can get in and you can go to attractions and get in line. This is the big difference. So instead of being able to safely go around and do early entry attractions, and then once you're done getting close to early entry ending, you can rush over and get in line for something that's not early entry and be the first one in line for that before all the non-hotel guests are allowed in. You cannot do this at Epic Universe. At Epic Universe, non-hotel, non-early entry guests can go over and get in line for the non-early entry attractions during early entry. So at 9 o'clock, they can walk over there to, say, Harry Potter Battle with the Ministry and go stand in line or stand outside of the queue and be ready to go there even though they're not a hotel guest. So by the time you're done doing all the fun early entry stuff and you meander your way over to one of the non-early entry attractions like Minecart Madness, there's already a ginormous line there waiting to get in. And if you look at two of the biggest attractions that are not available for early entry, Minecart Madness and Battle with the Ministry, these are pretty much the longest and worst waits in the entire park. They have bad capacity, they have bad uptime, and what's worse is that neither one of these attractions works for the Express Pass. So if you have an Express Pass, you aren't using it on those two attractions. So that means that no matter how much money you have, unless you do the VIP package, but no matter how much money you're spending and you think you're spending a lot, no matter how well you plan your day, no matter if you have early access or not, you're waiting in line for Battle with the Ministry and Minecart Madness. You're not getting out of it. You're gonna have to wait in line for that. The big question here is how long are you willing to wait in line for those attractions? And it is for these reasons that my number one recommendation is, and will continue to be for the foreseeable future, is to go to one of those two rides immediately and wait for it to open. And skip the early admission attractions. Skip it. Don't waste your time. Go right to one of those two attractions that's not open and wait in line. Wait for it to open. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these attractions on occasion do open early. So if the park opens at 9 and the early entry starts at 9, I've been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Battle with the Ministry, and they opened it by like 9:30. And I was off the ride by 9:45. And then I was able to actually go over and do some of the early admission attractions. Same thing for Minecart Madness, it opens on occasion early. Now, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it opens after the park is supposed to open at 10:15, 10:30. Sometimes it stays down for hours. You gotta roll the dice. But it's still the best bang for your buck. My very first recommendation is to hit one of these rides because they do have the worst wait times in the park. The Harry Potter Battle with the Ministry is the longest wait period. There's nothing worse than that ride. It's gonna have the longest wait. Minecart Madness also has a pretty bad wait time most of the day. There's one other attraction, however, that a lot of people look at and they think I need to hit that in early entry, and it's called Bowser's Challenge, the Mario Kart experience, because it also has a horrendous wait time. Horrendous. And the reason it has a bad wait time is because it has a lot of demand, it has fairly low capacity, it stops a lot. It's almost like Spaceship Earth nowadays. Every time I get on Spaceship Earth, we stop inside the Epcot ball. I think the ride stops like 8 times for whatever reason. It's kind of like that. Like the ride stops a lot. And the biggest thing about it is it accepts Express Pass. So because of the fact that it accepts Express Pass and all the other things I talk about, it has a huge long wait time. But if you look at Bowser's Challenge, if you look at the Mario Kart experience on the wait times, later in the evening, the wait times do kind of go down. So you potentially should be saving that attraction for later in the evening, or if you have Express Pass, you're good to go. Just get on it whenever you want. So let's jump into it. Let's show the map again. I want to pull it up here. I want to show you the path. We're going to start here at the starting point. On your marks, get set, go. Right at 9 o'clock, boom, you're in. My recommendation, 100%, go to Harry Potter. Go to Battle Ministry. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what they tell you. That's the play. If you are 100% dead set on Minecart Madness because you don't want to ride Battle at the Ministry, if you are I don't care about Battle at the Ministry at all, go do something else. I don't care. Go do Minecart Madness instead. Choose that one for sure. Still follow the rest of my strategy, but do Minecart Madness first. But for the rest of this map, we're just going to assume Battle at the Ministry first. After Battle at the Ministry at 9 o'clock, once you're off of that ride, you could be off by 10, 10:15, 10:30. It depends on when it's going to open for you. Immediately go from there to Hiccup's Wing Gliders over in How to Train Your Dragon area. It's right next door to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It is not going to be a huge walk for you. You're going to want to head straight there. You don't want to spend too much time in the Harry Potter area. Skip it, get on the ride, get off, and go straight to Hiccup's Wing Gliders and get that ride done. Don't stop for food. Don't look around. Don't take a lot of pictures. Trust me, there's plenty of time to do that later. We will get to that. But just kind of go from there to those. You can get those 2 attractions done really quickly. Trust me, it's going to save you so much time. It's going to help you. After you get off Hiccup's Wing Gliders, let's say it's around 11 o'clock. Here's some plenty of time. You're going to go from 11 to 1 o'clock, staying in the How to Train Your Dragon area. Relax in there. Enjoy the dragon area. Catch the Untrainable Dragon show. Relax, get in the air conditioning. It's going to be hot. It's going to be middle of the day right now. Grab your lunch somewhere in the How to Train Your Dragon. You've got the mead hall. You've got the Spitfire grill. You've got the mac and cheese cones. There's a lot of things. There's tons of meet and greets in this area. There's tons of things to see. If you're really hot, do the fire drill. Get on the boat ride. Get relaxed and splashed and wet if you like that kind of thing. Plenty of time. 2 hours, 1 o'clock, you're good to go. Around 1 o'clock, you're going to want to head to Stardust Racers. If you look at the wait times for Stardust Racers, it's going to be fairly manageable in the middle of the day, surprisingly, because it has amazing capacity. And this is going to be your daytime ride on Stardust Racers. We're going to get you a nighttime ride too, but you're going to get a daytime ride. And this will give you the opportunity to do both sides of Stardust Racers, which are slightly different experiences. Once you get off Stardust Racers, it shouldn't be past 2 o'clock. You should be around the 2 o'clock time period, just to kind of keep you on track here. You're going to want to now head to Dark Universe. Head straight across there from Stardust Racers. It's not a long walk. You just kind of walk straight across the park. It's right there. Dark Universe, good to go. This is going to be your daytime experience for Dark Universe. Don't worry, we'll get to the nighttime one too. You're in Dark Universe. You're going to want to check out the 2 rides, obviously, Monsters Unchained. Don't worry, trust me, that is a 15 to 30 minute wait maximum all day long. It should never be above 15 to 30 minutes. And then also get Curse of the Werewolf done. That's going to run you about 30 to 60 minutes. And one of the big reasons you want to do Dark Universe during the daytime is because there's lots of meet and greets and characters that are walking around during the daytime that aren't out really when it gets dark. Some of them are, but a lot of it kind of disappears in the evening hours. So you're going to want to experience it in full during the daytime first. So you're going to spend about 2 hours in this area. Relax, get some snacks, check some things out. And at 4 o'clock, you're going to want to now shift back over to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic area. This is where you're going to take your time, enjoy the space, do some wand experiences, maybe grab a bite to eat and dinner there. Do the Les Cirque Arcanu show, which is actually a really cool show. It's a fun experience if you can get into that. Watch that show, relax, take some time. But you're going to want to be out of the Wizarding World there by around 5 to 6 o'clock. Because now you're going to head over to Super Nintendo World. All you Nintendo junkies have been waiting all day to get to Super Nintendo World, and you're like, man, what's this guy doing with this plan? Like, it's 5 o'clock and we haven't even been to Super Nintendo World. There's a reason for that. Because trust me, it goes ham in the mornings. I'm telling you, everybody and their brother is over there in the morning hours. And you want to wait till it gets a little bit later and people are starting to go to do other things. Super Nintendo World is going to calm down a bit and you're going to get a much better experience. So you're going to spend between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock in Super Nintendo World. That's 3 hours I'm giving you. 3 hours to enjoy this space. This is where you're going to get Bowser's Challenge done there. You're gonna do that. That's gonna run you probably between 45 and 60 minutes. It could be 90 minutes depending. You're gonna do Minecart Madness, which should be between 60 to 90 minutes. So those two attractions are gonna eat up about 2 hours of your 3-hour time. Yoshi's Adventure, if you're running short on time, depending on how bad those other two rides are, I would recommend maybe skipping it. You should not wait more than 15 minutes for that attraction. If you're waiting more than 15 for Yoshi's, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Trust me, it's not worth more than a 15-minute wait. Look at it as like it's a small world over at Magic Kingdom. You're not waiting more than 15 minutes for that. Take some time to explore, grab some dinner. Now, if you prefer the food over at Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I would have grabbed dinner before you hit Super Nintendo World. But if you wanted to try some of the cool themed food at Super Nintendo World, grab dinner while you're at Super Nintendo World. And the best part about this is around, 7, 8 o'clock on average, it's probably going to start getting a little bit darker, and you're going to get to start seeing Super Nintendo World at night. So you're getting it during the day, and you're going to see it transition into the evening hours as well. And it's really beautiful at night. It just looks amazing with all the colors and beauty. So you're going to want to spend some time there. Now, at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and if you want to push it maybe 8:30 to 9:30, go back to Dark Universe. It's right next door to Super Nintendo World. It's not a long walk. You just kind of go right up the trail there, and you're going to get to experience Dark Universe at night, which I think is probably the coolest area to see at night. Spend some time there. You really probably only need to spend maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes there at nighttime, kind of get some pictures, chill, relax, maybe grab a snack, and get prepared for the last hour of the day. And this is 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So at 9 to 10, this is free for all for you. You can do this, you can do whatever you want. My recommendation is around 9 o'clock, head back over to Stardust Racers, get your nighttime ride in. Again, it shouldn't run you more than 30 minutes at maximum for Stardust at night. The last hour of the night, I've done Stardust walk-on. So you could probably do 1 or even 2 rides at night. Do the other side, whatever you did in the day, do the other side at night. Ride it as many times as you can depending on the wait time. And then head back over into the center area, get ready for the sort of water show there if you're interested in seeing that. If they ever bring fireworks into the parks, be ready for the fireworks and drone stuff. Right now they don't have anything, but maybe they'll bring it back. And that wraps up sort of the trail. And then there's plenty of time in there. I built some spaces in to go shopping. Here's a few of my recommendations. Number 1, be prepared to pivot. This is a plan. Plans can go wrong, things can change, wait times can go crazy, attractions can go down. Have a plan to kind of pivot to the next thing in the list and keep on rolling. The next thing is, if you run out of time, I'm going to give you some recommendations for things to skip. Number 1, Les Cirque Arcanu. It's a great show, but I think it's the weaker of the 2 shows on Trainable Dragon and Les Cirque Arcanu. I would skip that one. Constellation Carousel, it's skippable for sure. Fun little ride, but it's skippable. Dragon Racers Rally, 100% skip it. That's not even like if you're running out of time, just skip it. It's a waste. You're on it for like 20 seconds. You can't flip the thing over. It's kind of a disaster, and it's way too long of a wait. It has the capacity of a Mini Cooper. Next thing is skip the sit-down restaurants. Atlantic, for sure, I would skip it. But if you're gonna do a sit-down, Blue Dragon, 100% all the way. I mean, it's a fantastic restaurant. If you got a reservation for it and you're like, I just have to hit that on my first trip, I can't say not to hit it, but I think you're better served just doing the quick service restaurants than wasting time burning, an hour or 2 in one of the sit-downs. Save the sit-down restaurant for your next time you go. I think that's definitely the way to go. Some of the recommendations for where to eat, obviously I said it already, Mead Hall for sure in How to Train Your Dragon. Pizza Moon is fantastic there at Celestial Park. Oak and Star Tavern, great barbecue food. Toadstool's Cafe is great for the theming, although the food is just okay. And Das Steakhouse is another great one that's got some really cool themed food, even though maybe the food isn't the best, it's still a cool experience. Snacks, I gotta recommend Burning Blade Tavern all day long. That garlic steak they have there is phenomenal. They got some really good snacks there. The people that run the place are fantastic. They're great people. The mac and cheese cones, you can get those at Spitfire Grill, and the grog and gruel there, you can get them at 2 locations. I recommend Spitfire Grill. Just order it, mobile order, and you're off to the races. You don't have to wait in line. And then the cinnamon rolls, the little cinnamon bites there at DeLacy's Cottage in Dark Universe. Those are so good. They're like little mini donuts. I can't say enough good things about them. Lots of cool snacks like that you can grab. And then the last recommendation, shop Celestial Park and the stores in the different portals after the park closes. If you're in one of the portals and the park is closed, hit all the merchandise in that is still open, and then all the Celestial Park shopping stays open for an hour after the park closes. So don't waste your time doing that during your park hours. Save it for the end. And that's pretty much all I got. Once again, it's the same strategy whether you're doing early entry or not. I can't say that enough. Trust me, if you follow it, you're going to be good to go. If you don't follow it, you're probably going to be complaining and being like, I don't understand, I waited in line for this, and now there's a million people in line for minecart, and yada, yada, yada. I even have an express pass and I can't get everything done. And I'm just going to say this, if you have an express pass, this is going to be easy breezy for you. You're going to be able to get all this done multiple times. Whatever I set in there for one ride, you're going to be able to do that 2 or 3 times and then move on to the next ride. That's the biggest difference with Express Pass. And again, Minecart Madness, Battle at the Ministry, no Express Pass. So you're going to want to go to those and get one of those knocked out immediately to save yourself hours. You may be thinking, yeah, but I'm waiting in line anyway. Trust me, it works. The math works. You got to get it done. You'll wait 20 to 30 minutes for Battle of the Ministry instead of 2 hours. It's a big difference. So that's all I got. Hope this recommendation helped you. If you're planning on going to the park, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I'd love to see if this plan helped you get a better experience at Epic Universe. Please come back, drop me a comment, let me know. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Till I see you next time, the noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.